Hi, this is a brief demo between Empower CHMS showing how it integrates with PowerChurch Online. So I've got an install of Empower here, and I've also got a copy of PowerChurch Online that is set up here, and we'll see how the two are able to work together so that you can do your membership and contributions work inside of Empower, and will automatically transfer over accounting records so you can continue to use the accounting side of PowerChurch Online. It's very similar to how it works inside of PowerChurch. So the first thing I really want to take a look at is going over to contributions, and I'm going to go to funds. This is the equivalent to the maintain list of contribution funds screen inside of PowerChurch. So you see each fund that's listed here, and if I go to the setup tab, here I can actually click on the edit of the accounting area, and I can actually look up an account number. Now this is looking up into our chart of accounts that's inside of our PowerChurch Online, so I can pick the accounts here just like I do inside of PowerChurch. So we've set that up here. We have all of our credit and debit accounts set for all of our contribution funds that we have in this copy of Empower. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm enter in a few contributions. There again, I'm going to pick the date. We're going to just kind of pretend that these happened last Sunday. And I'm going to enter in some checks first. And, Brian Adams, put in the check number and the fund that he's giving to. Say it's $250. We'll save that. And pick another donor here. And we'll say he's also giving to the missions fund, so we'll select that too, and we'll enter that as well. And let's just enter just a couple more here. She's giving to the Mexico missions fund as well, and let's enter in a couple of cash contributions as well. And finally, we're going to enter in a loose plate cash. So there's a special loose plate cash donor inside of Empower that we record those contributions to. We're going to say $35.46 here, and we're going to say save. So we've entered in our contributions. The next step in PowerChurch would be go to modify unposted contributions, and the similar screen inside of Empower is to go to the edit contribution screen. So here we see all of our contributions that we just entered in here. If I bring up this details tab, so as we click on each one, we see the details of that particular contribution. So here Paul Jones gave both to tithes and offerings and missions. If we needed to make any changes to anything here, we would just come in here and click edit. And let's maybe instead of this being $25, maybe it was $45. So we make the change here. Now, one of the things that you see here, Empower will automatically keep the history of the contribution of how it was changed. So we see here at 12:59 it was entered to look like this, and at 12:01 it was changed and now looks like this. So once our contributions our batch is correct, we would then post inside of PowerChurch. The equivalent in Empower is we make a deposit. So the idea here is everything that was going to be deposited into the bank together, we make a deposit here inside of Empower, so that we can go back and look to see, what for the contributions, these contributions that were deposited, which ones are deposited together into the bank. So we're to come here, make a new deposit. We're going to say add. It's going to prompt us for what date ranges. We dated everything 11/28. Click next here. It's going to show us all of our contributions. We'll select the contributions that are going into this deposit. We'll click next. And because we had cash here, well, the first thing is it's going to say what date are these being deposited. So we're going to say we deposited these on Monday the 29th. And it's asking us for the coin amount because we had cash contributions in here. So we had $34. We're going to say there was $2.34 of coins in there, and I'll show you in a second why that makes a difference. And we're going to say create the deposit. So here's the deposit when it comes up here, and we can print the deposit slip. If I print deposit details, this gives me kind of the unposted contributions report that you're used to getting inside of PowerChurch. We can see all the contributions that are in this particular deposit. Now, what happened automatically when I made this deposit, it transferred over to PowerChurch Online a deposit entry. So if I come up, click locate, here is our deposit entry that it automatically transferred over to PowerChurch online for us. So it put, the deposit date is 11/29, so the amount of the deposit $670.46. If I come back here, our deposit $670.46. And that matches up. And if we looked at the totals here, 605, 15, and 50, and we come back to PowerChurch Online, 605, 15, and 50. So this is the deposit entry, the same deposit entry that PowerChurch would have made being transferred over. This has just all happened inside of Empower. One other thing I kind of want to show in here while we're talking about all this is what happens if you find a mistake or a problem after you've made the deposit. So let's just say we came back in here and we're looking at this and realized that the contribution here to missions or to the Mexico missions maybe should have gone to the regular missions. So we're going to click on this here, and this will take us over to the Edit Contributions screen here. So we're saying that maybe this was to the wrong fund or something like that. So we can still come baback here and we can edit this particular contribution. Now we get a warning to say, hey, this has already been deposited. This will change the deposit. If this could change the deposit, do we want to continue? Yeah, so yes, we do want to continue, and we can change this to just the regular missions. We can say just change that to missions, and we can say save. There again, we see the difference here. We can see at 12 o'clock it looked like this. It was to Mexico missions, and at 12:05 it was modified to now it's just to the generic missions. And if I come back to the deposit screen, it's now going to warn us to say, hey, this deposit has been modified. It is now out of sync with PowerChurch Online. Click here to sync this. So we're going to click here, and it's going to ask us for like a, why, what was changed, and we'll say wrong contribution fund used. And we'll click save. And what that did now is we go back to PowerChurch Online and we click locate. We see that it created a correcting entry then to move the income to the right income account. And that's very similar to what PowerChurch Online would have done with contributions. In PowerChurch Online, you would have had to reverse out the original contribution and then enter in the new contribution into enter a correcting or put a contribution into the correct contribution fund, and when you post those, it would create a very similar entry here. So you can see how there's close integration between Empower and PowerChurch Online accounting. There again, the primary reason is so that your accounting people can continue to do all their accounting work while your membership and contributions records transfer over to our new program, Empower CHMS, that's got a bunch of different features to it. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer any questions that you have about how the accounting integration works. Thank you for your time. Hope to talk to you soon.